because
Go
because
ahead.
it's optics and illusion. We are engaging with people who believe in the politics of optics and illusion. We do not want to be optics and illusion. We want to be what is real. We want when you come to Barbados and you see how we live, you're impressed by how we're living, not that you're shocked to see what's going on here in 2022. Why should St. Joseph be without water, a part of the island which water flows and falls more than many other areas? And why should we, as the electorate and the population of Barbados, be willing to accept anyone bringing a big tank into our communities to encourage us to use a bucket, to catch a bucket of water or a bottle of water to flush the toilet in our big and upstairs, downstairs house? Why?
Ah,
That is an
Exactly.
insult. That is an insult to the electorate, the people that voted for you. You're not choosing to live in their communities, so you do not understand their position. But it diminishes a person's value to tell them in 2022, where there's so many technological advancements, that they must go and run to meet a truck with buckets and bottles. It diminishes their ability to feel that they have accomplished what they needed to accomplish. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful in 2022. We should be way past where we are right now. But we have people who have been riding on the coattails of development that was done in the early stages of Barbados. The pipes that lay underneath the roads in Barbados were laid by earlier administrations that had that vision to put there for people like us to enjoy. The Barber Green and the asphalt that run throughout Barbados was laid in earlier administrations, and they've been neglected so much that there are potholes that could be like swimming pools because they were not upkept by the administrations that came after. The administrations that came after are only practicing a politics of optics and illusions, and we need to remove that view and
That's
see
right.
things for what they are, or we are going to live in a reality of Barbados that is nothing that we imagine it should have ever been, and we would be a actual surprise and a laughing stock to other persons within the region and beyond. We are marketed as a luxury island. So if you're marketed as a luxury island with a luxurious tourism product, then you should come and see people living with a good quality standard of living within this 166 square miles. We're a minute size to many other countries, very small economy to many other countries. We should have everything covered here in Barbados, but with neglect, anything is possible, and that is what is going on here. We are in a state where we've been neglected so long that things, the tear in the fabric in our society is finally showing. It's finally showing the level of the continuous neglect and mismanagement for so long,
wow.
for more than 2 decades.
Melissa, I hear your heart, and Michael, I hear your heart. And no wonder you decided that you're going to be a candidate. Melissa, you said you were working with the previous Minister of Maritime Affairs. Just so you were, so why didn't you run for the BLP?
Well,
Why did you not?
in my position, I am a person that I always wanted to be in the on the other side of the coin. I like to be on the other side of the coin. It gives me a broader perspective. I
Hmm.
believe I was privileged. I didn't only work with him, but when I worked under Hamilton Lashley and I met with him on the ministerial meeting, he was also with the BLP. You understand me? But I
Hmm.
believe that over the time when I analyze these organizations, they have had great ideas that have benefited Barbadians. Because for me to not acknowledge that, I will be a hypocrite to myself. But I
That's right.
believe that there's a regurgitation of the same ideas because
Hmm.
of the history of these people being together, that
Hmm.
they have not been given the chance to diversify their ideas and their approach to governance. Now, why I
Hmm.
say that is we have administration after administration throwing the majority of their money behind tourism products to the point now that our agricultural sector is under threat. We don't even have the capacity to feed ourselves. It is not the ideas that are placed there, but it's how the money that is received is funneled and what directions they're funneled into. For example, Barbados is what we will call the Timbuktu of the Caribbean. It was known to be the place where people, not only Barbadians, become certified, but people will fly from small islands to Barbados to be certified. And over the years, nobody never think to diversify our economy with the understanding of creating something called educational tourism, where we build many and erect many institutions, technical, vocational, and otherwise, and academic, that persons from other islands will fly in and spend time here to be certified beyond what we have now, which is the University of West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
We could have diversified in that area. We could have diversified in medical tourism, where persons who already come from smaller islands to Barbados, other islands, to get certain medical procedures, we could have invested in those things and used up places like the St. Joseph Hospital and other district hospitals, which are derelict, to farm facilities for specific forms of medical tourism. And then we had entertainment. Look at Mr. Thompson being in the Troubadours. And then we have Rihanna showing us that entertainment can be another source of foreign exchange. But we have parties who are regurgitating the same idea of throwing all our resources behind the tourism product. And the pandemic has come to teach us that we cannot do that. The pandemic came and it was unforeseen. And any administration would have difficulty handling it because the last pandemic was over a century ago. So I still give kudos to our administration and the way they handle it because they did not have a blueprint to follow. So I give kudos to them. But I believe that if our society didn't have a tear in the fabric of it already because of mismanagement and continual neglect, that we would have met the pandemic in a better position than we did when the pandemic hit us. The pandemic just compounded our issues and showed up what our shortcomings was even more than anything. But what existed before the pandemic was always there. The fabric was already tearing. And the pandemic comes to say, wake up, Barbados. Wake up, you're not ready. And that is what happened to us in 2020. So the diversification of our economy was not looked at in great detail by either administration, whether they wore yellow or they wore red. They were
Correct.
not. So if we're supposed to step into a new era for Barbados because we've become a republic, we have to think about how we're going to diversify our economy and move away from just dependency on a tourism product. We have to go back to finding out how we're going to enhance our food security and how we're going to approach these things while marrying it to technological advancement. Because we have a whole ocean surrounding us and we still don't have a desalination plant on the East Coast or any other coast where we could pump in that water, take away the salt, and pump it into the pipelines for people in Boscobel, like Mr. Thompson said, and St. Joseph and other places, for them to bathe and flush their toilets with, even if they choose to drink the water that comes from the limestone system that we already have exist. So what are we doing in society to allow administrations to keep rolling over and regurgitating the same ideas?